Number 5, Cam Ward. Cam Ward was drafted by the Tennessee Titans first overall in 2025. A fate akin to Bane.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it.
But don't take my word for it. Cam Ward himself literally said,
I mean, we keeping the buck right now, we ass. So we 0-4. We have this one, we got nothing to lose. We dropped a quarter of our fucking games and we've yet to do anything. So we have to lock in.
yes, it wasn't great for Cam Ward watching 2 coaches get fired during the season and going 3-14. However, Cam Ward had enough "I just shit a brick" plays that it may have attracted some coaching talent. Enter old Jets head coach Robert Saleh, who was defensive coordinator for the 49ers in 2025. Saleh is considered one of the best defensive minds in the NFL, and he won 7 games twice with the Jets. I know you're thinking 7 isn't a lot, but the Jets haven't had more than 7 since 2015. Ward also got offensive coaching guru Brian Daboll, who after he was fired for the Giants, turned down the Eagles' offensive coordinator job to work with Cam Ward. Remember that Daboll was huge in helping fellow "I just shit a brick" thrower Josh Allen evolve, and he got Daniel Jones a playoff win. Now, I'm not saying free agents like Wan'Dale Robinson are going to change this roster around, but the Titans spent over $311 million in contracts, and GM Mike Borgonzi, who used to be with the Chiefs, is now on there and getting the ship going. So suddenly, there's stability? Bonus points, because if emerging NBA star Victor Wembanyama has taught us anything, it's that going bald can precede a real boost, like the Titans did with both of these coaches and their new logo.
It's not that noticeable.
Number 4, Jaelen Philips. For the first 3 seasons of his career, edge rusher Jaelen Philips was doing great for the Dolphins. In those first 3 years, things went swimmingly for Phillips, as he never had less than 6.5 sacks in a season. However, as the Dolphins started to unravel at the podium,
To win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game, honestly.
and on the field, it was clear that they wouldn't give Jaelen Philips a contract extension. Combined with the 2025 season being a wreck, Phillips was sinking fast. However, during the trade deadline, the Eagles added him for a 3rd-round pick. Phillips had a huge impact for the Birds as they leapt from 15th in points allowed to 6th in the NFL by the end of the season. Philly wanted to keep Phillips, but the Carolina Panthers came in with a 4-year, $120 million contract that Howie couldn't match. As an Eagles fan, good for him, but if he hits this celly on us ever again, fuck him.
Asshole.
The Panthers were 30th in the NFL in sacks despite making the playoffs last season, so for Phillips, this is great to go into the season as their undisputed lead pass rusher. The Panthers are hoping that his high pressure rate fully translates to sacks and helps them truly break out in 2026. Number 3, Kyler Murray. When Kyler Murray entered the NFL, people believed that he would be the next transcendent quarterback. Entering the NFL as a Heisman Trophy winner and first overall pick, here were some of the outlandish quotes and opinions that people had about Murray. Kyler never upgraded to reach those boss-level expectations, but he did make a ton of incredible plays with the Cardinals and got them into the playoffs one season. Things soured in the organization when it was leaked that the Cardinals put a video game clause into Kyler's contract and complained he didn't study film quite enough. It crested last year when amateur terrorist / head coach Jonathan Gannon sent Murray to the gulag, opting to start Jacoby Brissett instead. After the season with no trade offers, the Cardinals released Murray. After surveying the land, Murray signed with the Minnesota Vikings and head coach Kevin O'Connell. Remember, it was only in 2024 when Sam Darnold furthered his renaissance with the Vikings, winning 14 games for him that year. Kyler is entering a team with Jay Jettis, Addison, and a great offensive mind that can throw nukes all over the field. Combined with a defense that can shut people down, this is clearly the best team he's ever played for in the NFL. Plus, he's still getting $37 million from the Cardinals this year. Number 2, Trey Hendrickson. In 2025, the longtime Bengals edge rusher suddenly found himself alone. At that point, he was the only Bengals defender worth a damn and was praying for some help, or at least a contract. The Bengals gave him neither. Stripping away talent from a defense which was a Super Bowl caliber one. In fact, the combination of points allowed, horrific performances, and offensive players melting down over the defense, you could argue that the Bengals defense was the worst in the NFL.
Finish the game, like just end it. Like that's it. Like that's what we need to do. Just end the game. Like,
despite that, Hendrickson was great in 2023 and 2024, getting 17.5 sacks in both seasons and leading the NFL in sacks in 2024. Didn't matter though. Burrow and the Bengals GM had to make sure that wide receivers Jamar Chase and T. Higgins got paid.
Big money in here right now. Big money.
Last season, Trey was often hurt and didn't perform great with only 4.5 sacks in 7 games. As free agency loomed, there were a lot of debates on where he would go, with strong rumors heading to the Cowboys. However, when the Ravens stunned football and pulled out of the Max Crosby trade, Trey was the real big winner. Not only did Trey go to a better team than the Bengals and get a chance with vengeance over his old team staying in the same division, but he also got a 4-year, $112 million contract at the age of 32, which is pretty bonkers. He also has new head coach Jesse Minter, who is known for having a strong defense like he did last year with the Chargers. Prayers up, Trey. Prayers up. Number 1, Daniel Jones. Indiana Jones and the arc of getting the bag. I don't even think this is particularly close. Daniel Jones has become a QB politician. You got to remember that he was drafted 6th overall by the Giants due to Eli and Peyton Manning going up to the owner and vouching for him after an college career. After falling flat on his face for his first couple of seasons, head coach Brian Daboll came in to save his entire career. He actually helped him make the playoffs and win a playoff game. You could argue, correctly, that a lot of this success was because of running back Saquon Barkley as well. But the Giants were having none of that. They actually paid Daniel Jones and kicked Saquon to the curb. After Jones was yet again horrific, he was released and decided to lay low in QB camp with the Minnesota Vikings for the end of the season. Emerging out of his cave, he saw the Colts wanted a QB and signed on. Jones was actually given the starting job over incumbent and 3rd overall pick of the draft, Anthony Richardson, who probably just tapped out of the race. The Colts started 2025 on a magical run, leading the NFL in scoring as they started off 8-1. The Colts figured that they were suddenly in win now mode and traded 2 first-round picks for cornerback Sauce Gardner. This move was stunning because it's a huge haul to give up for a corner that people thought was slipping, and it looks even worse now. Tragedy stuck Daniel Jones when he tried to play through an Achilles, not with help from the doctors, but just a couple of pals messing around with his most important ligaments. He then tore his Achilles and missed the rest of the season, and the Colts ended up missing the playoffs despite their hot start. But things got really interesting for the Colts when they signed Alec Pierce to the biggest wide receiver contract of a free agent in the history of the NFL. Then for Jones, it crested as his contract was up, but backup Anthony Richardson requested for a trade. With no picks to use on a quarterback and a disgruntled backup, the Colts had no other options. And even though they offered Jones a good contract, he turned it down. In fact, when Jones reportedly asked for $50 million, the Colts were reportedly stunned. Then they actually said, fuck it, I guess, as if they were choosing between fast food restaurants and not a franchise quarterback. Jones ended up signing a 2-year, $100 million contract, and in 12 months, he has gained the most power in the NFL. Somehow, his Achilles injury turned into a positive as Jones is paid and a franchise QB.
Very nice.